Vacucu3D A3 Vacuum Former Review. Real proof it creates molds without external gear. You spent 3 weeks designing the perfect product prototype in CAD, printed the master on your 3D printer, and now you need 12 identical copies for client presentations tomorrow morning. Your printer estimates 47 hours of print time. You sit there staring at the screen, calculator open, realizing you'll miss the deadline by 2 full days. Crushing moment. The frustration of being one step away from success, but physically unable to deliver. Have you felt that specific suffocating panic before?
Here's what that bottleneck costs you repeatedly. The client who needs custom packaging samples walks to a competitor who can deliver faster. The craft fair booth next to yours sells molded chocolate shapes you can't reproduce, and you spend entire weekends manually fabricating what should take minutes. Last month, a teacher friend showed me her classroom's vacuum former. 12 student molds done in an afternoon. You've felt the gap. What if speed and capability weren't locked behind factory-scale equipment anymore?
This is where the Vacucu3D A3 desktop vacuum forming machine changes the entire workflow equation. Here's what you need to understand. Don't just pick any vacuum former. Make sure it has a fully integrated vacuum system built directly into the machine, so you never experience the frustration of wrestling with external shop vacuums, tangled hoses, and unreliable suction that ruins expensive plastic sheets again. That single feature separates hobbyist struggles from professional results. The Vacucu3D delivers a full A3 forming area, 297 millimeters by 420 millimeters, aluminum and iron industrial construction that won't warp under repeated thermal cycles, integrated heating element for even plastic softening, precise temperature control down to every degree, and 0 external devices required. Just plug in, clamp your sheet, heat, and pull. Everything self-contained. A product designer in Seattle had a client presentation at 2 p.m., needed 6 prototype housings formed from a 3D printed mold by noon. She loaded PETG sheets at 9 a.m., ran 6 forming cycles in 90 minutes, trimmed and delivered with time to spare. Another maker upgraded from a DIY plywood vacuum former and described it as going from a bicycle to a sports car. Same destination, completely different experience. The machine works seamlessly with 3D printed molds, CNC machined masters, laser cut forms, even seashells you picked up from the beach last summer. Bonus most reviews skip. The integrated system means you can place this anywhere. Classroom, kitchen table, garage workbench, without needing dedicated vacuum equipment nearby.
Here's what shifts when vacuum forming becomes a 5-minute process instead of a multi-day ordeal. Immediate result. You accept that custom packaging job you've been turning down for months, load a 1mm HIPS sheet, form 12 identical trays in an hour, and invoice 300% more than the rejected project would have paid. Weekly win. You're prototyping 3 design iterations per day instead of waiting weeks for 3D prints to finish, catching design flaws early and impressing clients with tangible formed prototypes that look production ready. Long-term freedom. You've built a small batch production capability that generates consistent side income from custom molds, formed parts, and rapid prototype services without renting factory space or outsourcing to expensive fabrication shops. A maker education specialist noted, for classrooms and makerspaces, the VacuThink is perfect because there's no external equipment to manage. Students can operate it independently after one demonstration. A chocolatier running an artisan business shared, "I make custom chocolate molds in hours instead of waiting weeks for silicone molds to arrive. The machine paid for itself in the first month." A cosplay armor maker said, "I produce a complete set of armor panels in an afternoon. Each piece costs pennies in plastic, and the quality rivals professional fabrication." Which application would transform your workflow first? Comment 1 for custom packaging, 2 for rapid prototyping, 3 for food molds. The objection I hear most: I don't have workshop space for fabrication equipment. The counter that ends the debate: the Vacuthink fits on a desk, plugs into a standard outlet, and operates without external pumps, hoses, or dedicated ventilation systems. It's genuinely desktop scale. That's the breakthrough. I noticed this after 2 weeks. I stopped mentally categorizing projects as possible or need a factory. Everything became accessible. The aluminum and iron construction means this machine handles repeated thermal cycles without warping, degrading, or losing precision like DIY wooden formers that fail after 6 months of use.
You already know that equipment limitations define what projects you can accept and what income you leave on the table. The Vacucu3D A3 Desktop Vacuum Forming Machine with integrated vacuum system, A3 forming area, and industrial metal construction gives you vacuum forming capability without the factory, the external equipment, or the complexity. Join the growing community of makers, educators, and small business owners producing custom molds and prototypes in-house. Results vary based on application and effort, but the tool removes the excuse. Link in the description, pinned at the top. Your breakthrough project starts today. Let's make it real. For demo videos and current pricing, check the link in the description.